Hedy Lamarr. At any given moment, a billion or more electronic devices around the world communicate wirelessly via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. A technique called spread spectrum or frequency hopping makes it possible for these devices to be used simultaneously. Amazingly, this idea was not conceived by a physicist or engineer working at a university or in a factory, but rather by a beautiful Hollywood movie star from the 1930s and 40s named Hedy Lamarr. Lamarr, a native of Austria, had had no formal training in science or mathematics, yet a series of relationships paved the way to her groundbreaking invention. The first of these chance occurrences was her marriage at the age of 18 to industrialist Fritz Mandl. By all accounts, it was not a happy relationship, but there was one aspect of the union that had a lasting impact on Lamarr's evolution as an inventor. Mandl, a successful arms manufacturer, was doing research into how to control torpedoes at a distance using radio signals. Although Lamarr was in no way directly involved in this project, she was often present at meetings between her husband and engineers as they discussed the problem. There is little doubt that this is when she was first exposed to the ideas that led to her later invention. In the early 1930s, Lamarr, at that time still known by her original name Hedwig Kiesler, enjoyed some minor success as an actress in Austria. After fleeing to London to escape her unhappy marriage and the looming threat of war in mainland Europe, by chance she was discovered by the American movie mogul Louis B. Mayer. It was at this time that Mayer convinced her to change her name to a more elegant-sounding Hedy Lamarr. With her classic good looks, Lamarr quickly became a very bankable star for MGM Studios. Despite Lamarr's success as a Hollywood star, her interest in science and technology never waned, and other chance encounters spurred her career as an inventor forward. Her Hollywood lifestyle brought her into contact with many of the rich and famous, including the eccentric aviation tycoon Howard Hughes. Recognizing Lamarr's intelligence, Hughes encouraged her interest in science and provided her with equipment so that she could continue experimenting. Hughes even went so far as to put a team of engineers at her disposal to assist her with her projects. At another party, Lamarr met a professional pianist named George Antheil, who was an expert in mechanical music players. The two shared an interest in practical technology, and it was with Antheil that Lamarr discussed an issue that had been vexing her for quite some time. The problem involved radio-controlled torpedoes. At the time, technology had advanced enough so that a torpedo could be controlled remotely by a radio signal. However, the system had a significant strategic weakness. If an enemy could determine the frequency of the radio signal being used, it would be possible to send out a signal on the same frequency that would disrupt, or jam, the torpedo's guidance system. Lamarr's idea was to create a communication device that could continuously change frequencies, thus making it impossible for an enemy to jam the signal. Lamarr and Antheil worked together to create just such a machine and filed a patent for the invention in 1942, in the middle years of World War II. In a Hollywood movie, Lamarr's genius would have been recognized and she would be widely celebrated for her accomplishment. Unfortunately, in reality, the American military did not take the invention seriously and failed to see its potential. Consequently, the device was never used during the war as Lamarr had hoped. Yet, although her idea was dismissed by the military, it was not completely abandoned. After the war, engineers continued to develop it, and by taking advantage of improvements in electronics in the 1950s, researchers were able to produce machines that could communicate via randomly changing frequencies, just as Lamarr had envisaged. With the advent of cellular phones and wireless communication, this principle became even more crucial. If each device had its own preset frequency, all of the bandwidth would quickly be occupied. With frequency hopping, however, each device can jump to whatever frequency is not being used at a given time. This allows many devices to share the same range of frequencies without interfering with each other. Sadly, Lamarr never profited from her invention, and her contribution to communications technology has only recently been recognized.